The Cincinnati Bengals have found a hidden gem in a position they needed the most. Welcome back to the Bengals Digest channel. I'm Carson Lokey. Hopefully, you guys are having an amazing day. And let's be realistic. The Cincinnati Bengals offense is as close as you can get to perfection in the NFL in football terms. Obviously, nothing's going to be perfect, but except the offensive line. If the Bengals, which have had struggled with the offensive line for years, as long as they've had Joe Burrow, even before then, they've been struggling with the offensive line. That is the only thing still that needs to be fixed to make this what could be and should be the best offense in the league. Also, I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but PFF released their rankings for top offenses in the league. And in my opinion, even though the offensive line is horrid for the Cincinnati Bengals, we're at least top 5. At least. I say top 3 offenses in the league. 100%. They had us at 7th. Are you kidding me? The Cincinnati Bengals? Did you not watch what Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Higgins did last season? Just 3 of them? Are you kidding me? But anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. But why the Bengals are rated so lowly, even though it's not low, as an offense is because of their offensive line. And that's what I want to talk about today, because that's something that we need to desperately be fixed. And, this offseason, our front office actually started to do something about it. So this is from Warren Sharp on X. Just some insane stats coming from the Bengals offensive line. It's insane to me, the criticism of Burrow lately. That's also true. The fact that Joe Burrow is not considered an elite quarterback is absolutely bizarre to me. He is top, in my opinion, top 2. His 2.5 seconds to throw is number 4 fastest. So listen, let me say it again. These are his stats for the offensive line. His 2.5 seconds to throw is the number 4th fastest, way below average, meaning each play he has around 2.5 seconds to get rid of the ball, with the number 1 lowest blitz rate faced. Joe Burrow in the entire league is the least blitzed quarterback in the league, and the number 4 fastest release. So let me say this again, just to make it make sense. At each passing play, Joe Burrow has average of 2.5 seconds to get rid of the ball. He is also the least blitz quarterback in the league, and he also has the 4th fastest release in the league. He shouldn't get hit often, but yet he's the number 1 fastest hit quarterback in the entire NFL. Why? So once again, let me say this. Our offensive line is so bad. He has 2.5 seconds to throw the ball on every passing play. But he is the number 1 least blitzed quarterback in the league. He is getting blitzed the least out of any quarterback in the league. And he has one of the fastest releases, meaning like throwing the ball, fastest releases in the NFL. But he is the number 1 fastest hit quarterback in the entire league. Why? Because of the offensive line. How about instead of blaming the guy within the lightning fast release, we look at his offensive line. Listen to this. The Bengals offensive line is the only offensive line to rank a number 25 or worse in pass block win rate for 4 straight years. The Bengals offensive line is the only offensive line to rank number 25 or worse in pass block win rate for 4 straight years. 2021, number 30. That's when we went to the freaking Super Bowl. Number 2022, 30. We went to the AFC Championship. 2023, 27. 2024, last year, 32. There's 32 teams in the NFL. And our offensive line was the worst pass block win rate in the NFL. Yeah, now look, they're the worst pass blocking line in the NFL. Let me just keep going. Despite this, the NFL worst pass protection, despite the NFL most quick pressure faced, Burrow has produced elite passing statistics the last 4 years. Number 1 in overall completion rate, number 1 in third down completion rate, number 2 in accuracy, number 2 best passer rating, 103.3, number 3 best touchdown rate, 5.9%, 4 in touchdowns to interception ratio, 3.1 touchdowns to every 1 interception. Number 5 in yards per attempt, 7.6. Number 7 in success rate, 48%. Number 10 in EPA/attempt, plus 0.09. This isn't what this video is about, but anybody who thinks Joe Burrow is not an elite quarterback, look at these stats and then look at the offensive line stats. Burrow is fighting for his life out there, and I don't think a lot of us understand how much he actually carries this team. Like, realistically, how much this guy carries our team. This is supposed to be the beginning. Sorry. Here's the beginning of the tweet. Most brutal stat you'll read today. Joe Burrow has been blitzed at the lowest rate of any quarterback the last 4 years, but he has been within 2.5 seconds of snap at the number 1 highest rate. Burrow has been hit within 2.5 seconds, 25% more than the number 2 most hit quarterback in the NFL. So he's number 1 in most and quickest times being hit in the NFL, and it's not even close. The number 2 most hit quarterback in the league is hit 25% less than Joe Burrow. Like I said, Joe Burrow is fighting for his life out there, and we have been saying it over and over and over again. Do something about the offensive line. That's what the fans have been saying. Do something about the offensive line. And I think they have. Not in the draft. I mean, yes, I'm very excited about Jalen Rivers and Dylan Fairchild. I'm excited about both of them. But what excites me the most, not because I'm a Buckeye, but the fact as soon as the draft was over, they continued to add to the offensive line room. I think Dylan Fairchild, I think he's going to start. I'm very excited for him. I think he's going to be really, really good. I think he's going to be really, really good. A really good guard for us. I combine good into guard in the same word. But anyways, I think he's going to be a really good guard for us. And I think Jalen Rivers could also be a really good guard for us, or tackle, wherever they decide to put him. But going after somebody undrafted who should have been mid-round draft pick was absolutely insane. Seth McLaughlin, center from Ohio State, absolute dog. And I'm not saying that I'm a Buckeye, but he's just an absolute dog. He spent multiple years with Alabama before transferring to Ohio State last season. He has won 2 national championships with Alabama and Ohio State. He was a leader on the Buckeyes team last year, and the only reason he didn't get drafted, and he would have got drafted 3rd, 4th, maybe 2nd, probably not, but 3rd, 4th, 5th round, is because he tore his Achilles towards the end of the season, and he finished the season on IR. That was the only reason he wasn't drafted, because of his injury. But he should have been one of the higher picked linemen, because linemen don't go that, for whatever reason, don't go crazy. But he would have been a mid-round draft pick, and probably could have started for a lot of NFL teams next season. But the Cincinnati Bengals got him as an undrafted free agent. When the draft ended, they release their rankings of the best players still available. Seth McLaughlin was the number 1 player available left after the draft. Cincinnati, what they do, called him right away, brought him in. He is there, working out with, obviously, the Bengals signed. This is a report. I think this move shows that the front office and the Bengals, Zach Taylor, they're actually going after offensive line and want to think about the offensive line, because what's the most important position on the offense outside of the quarterback is your offensive line. If your offensive line can't protect your elite number 1 quarterback in the league, there's nothing you can do, really. And Joe Burrow is obviously doing a lot right now, but imagine how much more he could be doing if he had an offensive line. Cincinnati Bengals drafted 2 offensive linemen this year, but they weren't done adding young talent to that room. They were able to pick up Ohio State's Seth McLaughlin as an undrafted free agent. Prior to transferring to Ohio State, McLaughlin made 24 starts for Alabama. Winner of the 2024 Remington Award for the nation's best center, McLaughlin has the tools to play guard as well. In fact, he had the talent to get drafted somewhere in the mid-rounds, but finishing the season on IR with an Achilles tear seriously disrupted his pre-draft process. Let's take a look at what McLaughlin brings to the Bengals. I can't show these videos because I don't want to get copyrighted or anything, but he's quick. He's got the leadership. He's a locker room guy. He's got quick feet. He's really agile for a bigger guy. He adds a lot to the Bengals, and I think this report later goes on and says something that's pretty compelling. Seth McLaughlin was a great addition to the offensive line room. Depending on how quickly he can come back from his injury, I think he can pretty quickly. I could see him being in play for the right guard position. That would be huge. A battle with Lucas Patrick and Seth McLaughlin. He has more versatility than Matt Lee, which would give him an upper hand in the center competition. Starting center could also be in play in the future. Obviously, our starting center is going to be Ted Karras. But Ted Karras is older. Not saying he's going to retire anytime soon. I expect him to be with the Bengals for a few more years. But that position is going to become available sooner rather than later. In NFL terms, that could take a few years, meaning sooner. But the fact that we were able to get Seth McLaughlin as an undrafted free agent, and he could easily just slide into that starting center role whenever Ted Karras is hurt or is done with the NFL, we have our next guy already training with the Bengals, getting reps with Joe Burrow. And he might, like the report said, he could also slide to the guard position. And maybe Matt Lee goes into that starting center position. And then we have Orlando Brown Jr., Orlando Brown Jr., Dylan Fairchild, Matt Lee, Seth McLaughlin, and Amarius Mims as our offensive line. Because of how much they drafted, or then Jalen Rivers if someone gets hurt, and then Cody Ford if someone gets hurt. There's so many options with the Bengals offensive line, and it needs to get better. Yes, it needs to get better, but they're doing the steps. They're doing the right things. They got Amarius Mims last season, first round. He showed out. He's going to be a starter for the Bengals for a long, long time. I have the same feeling about Dylan Fairchild. I think he's going to show out for the Bengals year one, and I think he's going to be a great starter for the Bengals for a long, long time. Orlando Brown Jr., I think he has to step up even more. Yes, he's been really elite for the Bengals, but I think he has to step up even more as a leader on the offensive line. He has to lead these younger guys, I think, but he's already elite. We have that figured out. Ted Karras, one of the best centers in the league. We have that figured out. If we could just figure out everything and mesh them together, I think this is going to be the best offensive line the Bengals have seen in a while. And obviously, there's a lot of young guys, and there's still a lot of inexperienced guys being elite offensive linemen. Especially, we're probably going to have two rookie first-rounders, meaning Amarius Mims and Dylan Fairchild will start. So Amarius Mims obviously being the second year, Dylan Fairchild being a rookie starting on the offensive line. But I also think, despite all of that, I think this year's offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals is going to be the best offensive line we've seen in a long, long while. And I think they found a hidden gem in Seth McLaughlin because he was an undrafted free agent. The fact they got him undrafted, the fact he can be a starting center right now, well, once he gets figured out with his Achilles there, and he can also slide in as guard, that's some steal in the draft, and they found their hidden gem. And I'm so excited that they're finally focusing on the offensive line. And I even think, this is off topic, but I've seen some people say the Bengals should have drafted Sewell instead of Jamar Chase, which I see the reasons why, because obviously Sewell was going absolutely stupid with the Detroit Lions, but Jamar Chase is going stupid with the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think there's always going to be offensive linemen. There's not going to be always someone like Jamar Chase. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. We're so close to 2,000. I know we can hit it because of your guys' support. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. All the love you guys show this channel, especially me not being able to be on here as much, but Isaac taking more of the reins. Continue to show love to the channel. Subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. Like this video. Comment down below if you're excited about Seth McLaughlin, and if not, why or who are you most excited about in the offensive line room for this next season. But thank you so much for watching. For the Bengals Digest channel, I'm Carson Lokey. Have an amazing day, and God bless.